Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lukas, Kasper here, and today I'm going to be doing a masterclass on spray paint blending. But first things first, what I'm using, because every paint's different, every cap's different, they all do different things, right? So today I got flames and the cap that I'm going to be using. These just here, they're called a universal cap, or a banana cap, or a banana skinny, or there's a lot of different terms. They're just an all-rounder. They're great. They're great. So try them if you're starting out for sure as well.
Shoot away from the wall as you're sideways from it. And even if your spray paint isn't hitting the wall, it's like just a good point to start. You can move your way in further and further, because the thing that you'll come to realize with spray paint fades is you will just get solid lines to begin with, and it's real tricky to figure it out. We'll just do like a few small sections to show you an example of how to do these fades. You obviously need a base color first. You need something to spray into. If you try to spray from the top of this little sort of leaf shape and then the bottom of it, that meeting point in the middle, you're gonna have like an overlap where the color underneath is gonna show through. But with these sections, I actually have a nice little area that I can use. So look at the bottom of this leaf shape. So the cap itself, it fits into that little point. And this is a nice, easy way that you can find areas where you can use the different shape to get easy fades. We're just gonna work our way down like this. You can do it in one single stroke if you feel more confident that way. That is, it's probably the prime thing to do, but I sort of like to work up and down a little bit. And with this one, we want to go down. So from the top, nice and easy. And when it comes to the angling, you can see, like here I try to sort of give an example as to how far you should be away from that wall. So, if that's the wall there and that's the can, that's pretty much what I'm doing. It's almost like you're not even facing the wall itself. It's just catching that edge and fading out. And here I'll, use the same thing, but I'll go just a bit of a darker tone. These three colors are pretty close, which is good. Makes it nice and easy. And with this middle shape, you'll see, look how it's sort of the overspray, it looks messy, it's dodgy. With something like this, there's a thing called cutbacks in spray painting, and you basically just use that same color to paint that section back. Like, don't sweat the small things along the way. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's better to almost go imperfect and then to use that spray paint to cut back. There's a whole different technique when it comes to fading between colors when you have bigger shapes or bigger areas. And just here, we're just gonna get a little square sketched up. And in this shape, we wanna fade from that brighter blue into that darker blue. Here's a mistake that everybody seems to make, which is this, right? Let's say you wanna fade from the lighter blue to the darker blue, and you start like that. You can see all that brown area in the middle there, that creamy brown, that's always gonna show through, no matter if I do fade into that. So you'll notice if I chuck this line up here, they'll always be showing through. So if you want to fade from the middle of these colors, what you want to do is you want to fill all the way up, and you don't just go to the middle line. You sort of might picture, okay, I'll go to the center and I'll fade from there. But if you do that, it's only going to leave half of that little bottom section to fade into. But if you go further up like this, that means that all that middle bit there, that's the point where it's going to go from a gradient from one color to the next. And it's pretty much like that easy. That could be your fade. You could grab a darker tone in that blue, a lighter tone, and go even further with it. But that's the awesome thing about spray paint, it's that quick. You could paint this thing within like 10 seconds. But the next thing that will come up would be like longer shapes, because this fading technique of just angling your can and sort of doing a single fade doesn't always work, because sometimes you have an area that's just too big. And with that single fade, it'll look like a really, dodgy gradient. I'll do this first line and you'll see how it's a little bit just full on in that center bit. So what you want to do in this case is just go at a distance and pretty much just sort of mist that on. It's like just powdering your spray paint. It's going to be a tricky thing to learn as to like how far and everything you should go away. When I got like a huge shape, way bigger than this, I'll put a fat cap on my can and I'll do this same thing. I'll just sort of get that first fade through the center and then sort of mist over both sides. If you look up close, it'll always have like a little bit of imperfection, but from afar and even from where you're looking at in the camera, it looks like a pretty perfect gradient. So that's the way to do it when you're starting to paint those bigger shapes. So the last thing is we get stuck into something a little bit more complex, and we're gonna create like a 3D sphere from the techniques that we've learned. So obviously I'll start with my circle, and the thing that we've been doing on each one of them, we fill it in first. And this one, I'm just gonna fill the whole thing. You know, I'm not really wasting paint. If this was a gigantic circle, maybe just fill in where you want this mid-tone to be. But for me, screw it, doesn't matter. It's super quick just to chuck that base in. We're gonna get that shadow down the bottom. This is gonna give that sphere like a, you know, it's sitting on the floor. The next thing you gotta do is fade up to get that the shading on that one side, because our light source is sort of gonna be coming from the top left. And you really see how this thing comes to life once you actually bring that bright tone back in and highlight over the top. And what's cool with this type of technique is, you know, you're learning the fundamentals of maybe how to use your cans. Hopefully you're looking at like how close I am to the wall, and you can do this with anything. You can make your objects look 3D, just like this. And often you'd think, you know, that little beam on the top would be enough, but you gotta separate it from the base. So let's use a really light mist over the bottom. And there you go. I mean, that could pretty much wrap up there, but I'll put like a little bit of depth back in, maybe a little highlight dot over the top to really give it that reflection. But especially if you're using like a really dark blue and a light blue and you're spending more time on this, you can make this look super refined. And this is the same way that people do like bubbles or raindrops and stuff in pieces too. It's super easy. You think it would take forever, but look how quick that is, and you got a sphere.
Okay, so we got all the basic blending down. You know, your smooth type of blending with the no outlines, smaller type of sections, a bigger section where you got to blend, you know, use both the angling of the can and sort of using it at a distance. So what I want to do is take you guys a little bit further into it, and I want to use these techniques to create something that's a little bit more refined. And that's going to be in next week's video. Expanding out, going big, using these techniques to make something sick. But if you like this video, remember to leave a little bit of engagement down here. Tell me what you want to learn or what you like from this video. I appreciate it so much, and I hope to see you on the next one.